Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to everyone joining us today. Bonjour et merci de vous joindre à nous aujourd'hui. My name is Shatha Clavering, and I am the Executive Director of Climate Positive Energy at the University of Toronto. It's a pleasure to be your MC for today's important announcement. As we gather in Markham, we acknowledge the traditional territories of Indigenous peoples and their commitment to stewardship of the land. We acknowledge the communities in Circle, the north, west, south, and eastern directions. And Haudenosaunee, Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, Seneca, Chippewa, and the current treaty holders, Mississaugas of the Credit Peoples. We share the responsibility with the caretakers of this land to ensure the dish is never empty and to restore relationships that are based on peace, friendship, and trust. We are committed to reconciliation, partnership, and enhanced understanding. On behalf of the University of Toronto and our partners here at Alectra, it's my pleasure. Okay. They are very light actually. Okay. Do you wanna put like something at the bottom?
Yeah, we need some sandbags.
Do you guys have any sandbags?
Yeah, she said she's getting the woods.
Do you want
Are
to
you
continue?
okay? You're okay?
I'm okay.
You
Do you
promise?
want
Okay.
No, it
Okay.
didn't hit me.
Okay. Yeah, let's move.
Do you want to move the podium or do you want to keep it? Okay. I'm good, thank you everyone. It didn't hit me, it just hit the mic. On behalf of the University of Toronto and our partners here at Alectra, it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's announcement, a celebration of innovation, collaboration, and our shared commitment to a cleaner energy future. The electricity grid is the backbone of our daily lives, and transforming it is essential if we are going to meet our climate goals by creating a smarter, cleaner, and more resilient grid that benefits us all. At the U of T, we are proud to contribute through research, teaching, and partnerships that help turn bold ideas into real-world solutions. And we are equally proud to collaborate with governments, industry, and communities on this important work. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the people and ideas driving Canada's clean energy future. Sans plus tarder, j'ai le plaisir d'inviter à la tribune l'honorable Tim Hodgson, ministre de l'Énergie et des Ressources naturelles du Canada. Without further ado, I'm pleased to welcome the Honorable Tim Hodgson, Canada's Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, to the podium. Please join me to welcome the Minister.
Thank you for getting that all sorted out before I got up here. Bonjour tout le monde. And thank you for that land acknowledgement. It's important that we do that at the start of every event. It's a very exciting. I'm very excited to be here with you today in Markham, part of this country which I have the honor to represent in the House of Commons, as you know. Canada is at a pivotal moment in our history. In a world where it seems the only thing certain is uncertainty itself, the old ways of doing things are no longer serving us. To remain strong, sustainable, and secure, we must turn and stand together as Canadians and focus on all we have to offer ourselves within our own borders. Or to put it another way, as the Prime Minister often does, we can give ourselves more than anyone can take away. This is especially true when it comes to energy. We have the resources to become an energy superpower, not just for exporting our products around the world, but for shoring up our energy security and affordability right here at home. Already, approximately 85% of Canada's electricity comes from renewable and non-emitting sources such as solar, hydroelectric power, nuclear, wind power, and Ontario has been a leader in this transition. As the former chair of one of the companies in this sector, I want to share with you my experience. Our clean grid gives Canada a competitive advantage in attracting capital investments that grow the economy, create good, well-paying jobs, support a healthy, safe, and livable environment, and has enormous potential to save families money on their electricity bills. If we invest in the ingenuity and ambition of Canadians, we can keep building the most affordable, cleanest, and smartest electricity grid in the world. One that puts reasonable bills and Canadian technology at its center and attracts investment from around the world. That begins in innovative, forward-looking places like Markham Thornhill. That is why today I'm proud to announce more than $13 million in federal investment for 5 trailblazing projects right here in Ontario that will modernize and strengthen our electricity grid. Grid modernization is about more than transmission lines and substations. It's about building a system that works for people. Historically, electricity has flowed in one direction, from large producers to the customers. But our world is changing. Canadians expect more from being connected to the grid. They expect that it should be easy to generate their own clean energy, store it for backup, and even supply it back to the grid to benefit themselves and help meet power demands for their communities. This presents a technical challenge, but also an opportunity to put the power in Canadians' hands and tailor our system to their needs. That is why we're investing $6 million for Alectra Utilities' Centricity project to give customers the tools to participate directly in Ontario's energy markets. Imagine a family with rooftop solar panels, or a local business that generates some of its own power and stores it in an on-site battery. Thanks to this project, it will not only be easier to use that power themselves, but they'll also be able to supply it back to the grid and get paid for their contributions. In rural remote communities, we are investing over $3 million in HIAH Corporation, proving that clean energy isn't just for our biggest cities by supporting Chigan to help industrial facilities transition from diesel to renewable energy. We are also investing over $3.1 million in Peak Power Inc.'s work to deploy and demonstrate new technologies that will coordinate between sources of electricity on behalf of the consumer, drawing power from the grid when prices are lower, and from on-site sources of electricity when the grid prices are higher. This will make our grid more efficient, responsive, and affordable to all its users. Finally, Enova Power is receiving $750,000 to leverage AI to forecast when power demand will be higher, making it possible for power providers to offer to pay community members to use home-based sources of power during these times. This can solve the need for expensive upgrades to the grid in order for it to provide more power while compensating customers for helping to reduce demand on the grid, saving money and strengthening reliability for everyone. Ultimately, it's strategic, targeted investments in creative ideas like these that marry technology with affordability and economy with environment that will enable us to build an energy system that is more innovative and sustainable than ever before. The exact type of grid we need to realize our goal of becoming an energy superpower and the strongest economy in the G7. With that, thank you, merci, and I look forward to hearing the other speakers. Take care.
Thank you, Minister. That's fantastic announcement and great contributions from Natural Resources Canada to all these 4 projects. So congratulations to all the project's recipients. Please join me to welcome Rudy Cuzzetto, Parliamentary Assistant to Ontario's Minister of Energy and Mines, to the mic. Rudy.
Thank you and good morning, and thank you, Dr. Shatha, for those kind introduction. I want to thank the Minister as well, and for your support over these 5 clean energy projects, including here at Alectra. It is a real honor for me to join you this morning on behalf of Minister Stephen Lecce, Ontario's Minister of Energy and Mines, with our province's electricity demand expanding to raise to 75% by 2050. I was proud to join Minister 2 months ago as we launched on Energy for Generations, Ontario's first ever integrated energy plan. This is a blueprint to ensure we have the affordable, reliable, and clean energy that we need to power our homes and businesses, both today and for our children and our grandchildren. It includes the largest energy procurement in Ontario's history and the first small modular reactor in the G7, both on time and on budget. But at the same time, we know that as our energy system grows, the role of energy users is growing with it, driven by new technology like solar panels, electric vehicles and batteries, smart thermostats and other devices that produce, store, and manage power close to where it's used. With over 6,000 megawatts of this local capacity already installed across Ontario, the transformation is well underway. Projects like this at Alectra will modernize Ontario's grid to support an even smarter, even more flexible system that better includes these new technologies. It will help to empower families, businesses, communities, and First Nations across the province, and to not just use energy, but to generate, store, and manage it as well. This will be a critical part of the solution, not only for Ontario's growing energy needs, but also to help us reach our goal of a 99% emission-free grid by 2050. That will help to build and power the strongest economy in the G7. I was also proud to see that whatever is possible, Alectra will be using businesses, suppliers, and vendors from Ontario or other provinces. We need this Team Canada approach to protect and strengthen our critical domestic supply chain as we continue to deal with President Trump's unfair and illegal tariffs and the economic uncertainty that is created. So again, I want to thank Brian and his team at Alectra for this important commitment as we all work together to renew and modernize our grid across the greater Golden Horseshoe and across Ontario. Our children and their children will inherit an affordable, clean, reliable energy system because of the great work we're doing right here across Ontario and across Canada. And I want to congratulate all of you here today, because without you, we would not be able to do what we are doing together. So thank you very much, all of you here today. Thanks.
Thank you, Parliamentary Assistant Cuzzetto. And back to your point, today is just an example of so many of how Canadians can work together as we see both the federal and provincial government coming together for this big announcement. So thank you again. I'd like to introduce Keith Irish, Ward 1 Councillor with the City of Markham. Please join me to welcome Keith.
Well, good morning and welcome to Markham. It's my pleasure to represent Mayor Scarpitti and my colleagues on Markham Council and to be with you today for this announcement, and of course to be with Minister Hodgson, who, as he mentioned, also happens to be the local member of Parliament, and he and I have the honor of representing our areas of jurisdiction overlap, and together we work very collaboratively in representing the needs of the residents that we're fortunate to represent. If you follow Tim on social media, you'll know what it feels like to have your head spin trying to keep track of where he is, because he's traveling the country from one end to the other and to all points in between in ways of seeking opportunities to get this country, as he mentioned, moving again in ways that we've not seen since C.D. Howe in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s transformed the Canadian economy from one that was agricultural based to an industrial based economy. I'm also pleased to recognize from the Government of Ontario, Rudy Cuzzetto, the Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Energy and Mines, and as everyone else here too, all the stakeholders who have joined us today. Not to be remiss, but I also follow Rudy on social media, and it's equally hard to keep up with the number of hands he shakes, ribbons he cuts, and babies he kisses. So he's everywhere and anywhere. So thank you, Rudy, and the support of your government as well. This transformative project shows what's possible when government, industry, and communities come together, they work together, and share the goals of sustainability, innovation, and resilience. For our community, this is more than technological upgrades. It means a smarter, cleaner, more reliable energy future, and it ensures that our residents and our businesses and institutions benefit directly from innovation in the energy sector. So the goal is simple: a more flexible, resilient, and customer-focused grid that meets today's needs and prepares us for the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow that Tim is so actively pursuing on our behalf. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Irish. It's my pleasure to introduce you to our host today at Alectra, Brian Bentz, President and CEO of Alectra Utilities. Please join me to welcome Brian.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to Alectra and our Markham Service Center as we launch an exciting milestone, I think, in the evolution of the electricity market in Ontario and Canada, and maybe globally. A collaboration made possible through the support of Natural Resources Canada. Before I begin, I would like to thank and acknowledge Minister Hodgson, right from Markham, Minister of Energy and Natural Resources Rudy Cuzzetto, Parliamentary Assistant to the Ontario's Minister of Energy and Mines, and Councillor Keith Irish for being here today. It is about support from government at all levels, working with companies like ours and all of our partners that makes these adventures so exciting and the potential for so much success. We are very fortunate to have Minister Hodgson as in the position that he's in now. He really understands the local electricity system in Ontario, having been chair of Hydro One for several years, the importance of local distribution companies in the province and how they are connected to customers, and the potential that distribution systems can have to the electricity grid in Ontario and beyond. And similarly, Rudy, thanks to you and Minister Lecce for your vision in terms of painting a picture for Ontario that is a clean grid where businesses will want to invest in Ontario. We want to make that happen. We want to empower consumers so that they can reduce their electricity bills and we can have a cleaner grid. We've talked a lot about flipping the grid, and that's what we're trying to do with this project. For over 100 years, electricity markets have been operated from the wholesale level. So we have system operators that buy generation from large generators upstream, and they act on behalf of the consumers. They buy power on behalf of the consumers. And that market has worked well, but now it's time to blend it and change it with downstream electricity markets. If we do have 6,000 megawatts of grid edge capacity, let's open up that capacity to consumers so that they can lower their bills. They can work together to make that happen. The Centricity project is really about putting the building blocks in place so that we can schedule, dispatch, forecast, and settle all of that power at the edge of the grid for the benefit of consumers. And I'm very excited about that. We are at an accelerated pace of change for electrification. Our growing economy and increased housing needs, along with evolving customer behaviors and preferences, are driving rapid growth on the grid. Meeting this demand will not only require us to double system capacity, it will also require an evolution of what we use as energy resources, how they are procured, how they are dispatched. This future cannot be built on traditional infrastructure alone. We must embrace smarter, more flexible, grid edge, and more resilient solutions. And that's where centricity comes in. With this joint initiative, we're not just creating a roadmap, we're building the blueprint for distribution system operator model, DSO model in Ontario. It's a vision that aligns directly with Minister of Energy's letter of direction to the OEB and supports key provincial goals, including expanding energy efficiency and non-wire solutions. Centricity is about modernizing how we plan, operate, and optimize our electricity grid. It enhances control room capabilities and enables new market mechanisms that benefit our customers. Centricity represents the start of a shift to full DSO operations. These capabilities are being embedded directly in our day-to-day utility work, designed to be enduring, scalable, and impactful. This work is only possible through strong collaboration, and we're proud to partner with the Minister, Natural Resources Canada, the provincial government, who has been instrumental in enabling centricity. We're also working closely with the Ministry of Energy, the Ontario Energy Board, to ensure policy alignment and long-term viability. We're working with Oakville Hydro. We're collaborating to assess the value and the viability of DSO as a service to other areas of our province. What makes centricity especially exciting is its innovation in energy markets. We're enabling the procurement of local grid services directly from our customers. For example, their EVs, solar panels, and battery storage units to support our grid, reduce the need for large generation and transmission projects. At the same time, we'll be compensating customers who choose to participate, reducing their energy costs. At its core, centricity is about delivering value to our customers. It gives them more choice and more flexibility. It opens doors to new revenue opportunities, and it helps reduce overall system costs. Communities will benefit from smarter, more resilient energy planning tailored to local needs and conditions. And we're committed to sharing what we've learned, and that includes working with our partners at the Ontario Energy Association, Vince Brescia, thank you for being here, Electricity Distributors Association, Teresa Sarkisian, thank you for all your support, Electricity Canada, and the Smart Grid Innovation Network. We're also incredibly proud to be partnering with the University of Toronto, Mississauga, to drive cutting-edge research and support the next generation of energy leaders. Finally, I want to express our deep gratitude to our many partners and everyone working alongside us to make this vision truly a reality. Together, we're not just preparing for the future, we're shaping it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian. We are very excited at this project, and we cannot wait to see the outcomes and the paradigm shift in the electricity markets that it will result in. Thank you. Next up, I'm pleased to introduce Grant Taibossigai, Business and Economic Development Manager with the Shiging First Nations HIAH Corporation. Please join me and welcome Grant.
Miigwech. Ani, hello, bonjour, Honorable Tim Hodgson, Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, friends, guests, and provincial representatives. My name is Grant Taibossigai. I'm the Economic Development Manager for Shiging First Nation, and I work with our HIAH Corp Economic Development. With me today is Laura Suthers, a member of our Economic Development Corporation and treasurer. I speak for Chiging First Nation on Nidom Nising, Manitoulin Island. We are builders. We put up a wind farm, many rooftop solar, community grocery store, electric vehicle charging stations, and new spaces for our people to work and learn. That's who we are. We learn, we hire local, and we get it done. We're proud to be the first Indigenous community in Ontario and possibly Canada to build and own and operate a 4 megawatt wind farm in our community of Chiging with our own resources and our own trades. We're grateful to our federal and provincial partners for walking with us. But we face two hard truths. Diesel still powers much of industry work, and the air we breathe pays the price. Much of our Manitoulin Island can't get the power it needs because the grid only serves where the 44 kV lines run. So we chose to lead. 4 years ago, we asked, how do we move a major industrial customer off an aging 5 megawatt diesel plant? With our development and technology team and support from NRCan's Energy Innovation Program, we're building a new way, a system that blends new technology, renewables, storage, and new loads with the existing grid. A system that helps connect the past with the present and to unlock our future. Our goal in 2 years is to cut diesel use by 75% for a major industrial user of diesel power on Manitoulin Island. Next, add wind, solar, and batteries to reach near zero diesel, keeping a backup only for emergencies. We'll upgrade lines, add a substation, and use island hands wherever we can. This is made in Canada innovation. If it works here for us, it can work in many other communities where weak grids keep industry tied to fossil fuels. We invite Ontario's planners to sit with us and plan for a cleaner, stronger grid for Manitoulin communities and our off-island neighbors. We are ready to be partners. In closing, let me be clear. Without NRCan, this project would not be happening. Your smart grid funding and trust is turning our community's vision into work on the ground. Today is possible because NRCan believed in us and backed us. If not for NRCan's support, we would still be talking instead of building. Minister, to you and your team, Miigwech from Chiging First Nation, for walking beside Chiging First Nation. Miigwech.
Thank you, Grant, and great participation of First Nations community. Please join me to welcome Peak Power's Vice President of Legal Affairs, Shraddha Mishra. Oh, you're here.
Good morning, and thank you to National Resources Canada, to Honourable Minister Hodgson, and our partners here today. It's a pleasure to be here in Markham to celebrate this important announcement for Canada's clean energy future. I'm Shraddha Mishra, VP of Legal at Peak Power, and I would start by saying that where traditionally energy solutions have involved demand response, we're trying to find more innovative approaches to approach this solution. At Peak Power, we support large energy users to manage their energy in smarter, more flexible ways. Today, we're thrilled to share that the support from NRCan will help us advance our Distributed Energy Resources Management Platform, DERA, across 3 demonstration sites in Ontario. By integrating battery storage, EV charging, and solar under a single software platform, DERA helps these customers lower costs while actively participating in a modern electricity grid. As load growth continues to outpace supply, and with large-scale generation solutions still years away, the need for flexible, distributed energy resources have never been greater. Projects like ours will show how distributed energy solutions are the best tool to meet the challenges of today's changing energy landscape, helping businesses save money while also supporting the broader electricity grid. This project is designed to deliver tangible benefits for Canadians. Environmental, lowering emissions and increasing renewable integration. Economic, reducing electricity costs and creating more flexible energy management options for customers. And finally, innovation, advancing Canadian clean technology leadership and exploring alternative approaches to meeting grid needs. This project is more than technology. It's about showing how flexible, distributed energy solutions can create a cleaner, more resilient electricity system for all Canadians. We're grateful for the support from Natural Resources Canada and our partners, and we look forward to sharing the results of this important initiative over the coming years. Thank you.
And last but not least, I'd like to invite Greig Cameron, President and CEO of Enova, to provide some remarks.
Good morning, and thank you everyone for coming out this morning. For a moment, I thought I was sitting back in Jamaica, this beautiful, intense sunshine. So thank you, Minister, for inviting us to this announcement, and to our host, Brian, and the team at Alectra. It's a pleasure to be here among leaders from across the energy sector, government, and media. At Enova Power, our purpose is clear: to energize and empower our communities we serve, and to drive what's next in energy and sustainability for our communities and beyond, including Kitchener, Waterloo, Woolwich, Wilmot, and Wellesley. As Ontario's 7th largest distribution company, we serve over 165,000 customers and manage more than $600 million in assets. Our commitment is to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable electricity while preparing our grid for the future. Over the years, we have made significant investments in expanding and modernizing our distribution system. Through advanced automation and infrastructure upgrades, we have enhanced reliability, reduced outage impacts, and improved operational efficiency. But we know that traditional infrastructure alone won't meet the energy demands of tomorrow. With electricity demand projected to increase by up to 75%, or even double by 2050, we must evolve. That's why Enova is transitioning from a passive distributor to an active distribution system operator. A shift that positions us to better manage distributed energy resources and support a more dynamic, resilient grid. This NRCan-funded project that we'll be embarking on builds on our history of innovation and represents a strategic step toward a smarter, more flexible grid. We're excited to be partnering with Grid S2, an Ontario clean-based startup technology company, and collaborating with Natural Resources Canada to deploy AI-based planning and optimization tools and Grid S2 transactive energy platform. These technologies will help us unlock the full potential of distributed energy resources and enable local energy procurement. This is about building the electricity system of the future, one that maximizes clean energy use, meets growing demand responsibly, and empowers our customers. Importantly, this project emphasizes community engagement and customer participation, ensuring that individuals from all backgrounds can actively contribute to and benefit from the energy transition. It's a model for a sustainable, equitable, and resilient energy future. We believe the outcomes will be scalable, as Brian mentioned, for his project, and replicable across the regions. We will work closely with other LDCs and partners like Grid Smart City to ensure collaboration and avoid duplication while accelerating market transformation across Ontario and beyond. Thanks to Natural Resources Canada for their support, not just for Enova's initiatives, but for the projects being funded under this program. Together, we're advancing Canada's electricity system to better serve our communities, our economy, and our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Now that we've heard from all our great speakers, we will open it up for questions from the media. So I'd like to invite Chilius Wong from Minister Hodgson's office to come here so that he can moderate the media availability.
If any members of the media have any questions, please feel free to come up to this mic. Please state your name, the media outlet you're from, and who your question's for, and we'll do one question, one answer. I think we're good, no media. Thank you. Photos now?